Alright there guys, and welcome back to the second channel. Oh, that's right, the very first second channel video of 2020. This is now the fourth different individual year I've made a video on this channel. We've had Real Talk episodes in 2017, 2018, 2019. Well, only one in 2019, but we've got one for 2020. And that is, as you can see from the title, students who receive special treatment. Now, I'm not referring to the ones that the smart students, the really intelligent ones that get given favoritism by teachers. I don't mean those ones, like I did in my school and college Real Talk video I made back in 2018. Yeah, that I made near the start of 2018. It's not those, although this is kind of a follow-up video to that one. But we're going to be focusing on specific students that receive special treatment, or at least one. I'll give you my example and my experience with this. Okay, so from the 2018 to 2019 academic year, which was September 2018 all the way up until June 2019, on my IT course, there were two groups. I was in one, Connor was in the other. And we had a guy in my group that literally got so much special treatment. This guy was basically he was a bit like David towards the second half of our first college, only in terms of in-lesson, this guy was even worse than David. This guy was literally actually worse. Basically, just like David, he was allowed to bring in his laptop, even though we already have PCs that can be used. And he get this, he was allowed, right? He was allowed to wear headphones all lesson, every lesson. Not a single other person in my group or even Connor's group were allowed this privilege. Only him. And then you could say, but he has autism. So what? So do David and Ash. Doesn't mean they are allowed to. That doesn't mean they're allowed to use their headphones all lesson, every lesson, is it? So no, that's not an excuse. Apparently, he has this condition. This condition where he could get distracted easily. So he's allowed to listen to music on his phone through his headphones, but not a single other person is. Only him. He was given so much special treatment. Even when, also here's one. In one of our lessons where we have in the opposite room to the main room we had our lessons in. Basically, it was a lesson where our group was a little more how do I put it? A little more relaxed, a little more lethargic, I guess, maybe. Basically, we didn't work as hard when we were in this room to when we were in the main one. That's basically what I'm trying to say. We didn't really work as hard, right? And people tend to be, and people in our group tended to be more, tended to misbehave more in this room than the other one. But the thing about this is, this guy was literally allowed to work in a completely different room to the rest of us. He was allowed to work in the college library to do his work because he wouldn't be able to concentrate on his work. Well, guess what? Some of us weren't joining in the misbehaving like me. And I still got my work done. I wasn't distracted. It's just another example of this guy being handed special treatment. Treat all students equally. Any school or college that says they do that, they're all lying. There will be absolutely no school and no college or even a university in the world that treats every single student equally. Some students will always get special treatment for no reason. You guys I bet all of you guys would have experienced something like this at some point, surely, because it's so common with certain students getting so much special treatment that they don't deserve, because they get this special treatment and they waste it. They don't even use this special treatment to get time to complete their work. Also, if he's not in a good mood, he thinks he's allowed to talk to the teachers however he pleases and get away with it. But the thing is, most of the time, he actually does get away with it. If anyone else spoke to the teachers like he did whenever he's in a bad mood, they'd be getting sent out straight away. But for some strange reason, he's allowed to get away with it. So not only are phones banned from use unless necessary in college, and yet he's able to use his every single lesson simply because of a condition. The fact that even David does not do this, does not have his headphone, is not allowed to use his headphones all lesson, every lesson. The fact that David is not allowed to do that really shows how much special treatment this guy gets. Also, when he throws a hissy fit, which wasn't super often, but it happened more than it should. He threw more hissy fits than you really think he should have. Sometimes, yes, people are being a bit loud and he has a reason to want to leave the classroom. Like, people were throwing paper balls at him, and me and one of the other guys in the narcos were like, don't do that. You know how it's going to end. Don't throw the paper ball at him. You know exactly what he's going to do. They didn't listen and they threw it anyway. And we were waiting for the onslaught of anger. So we were just like, yeah, we're just going to go slightly over here, that just in case. Because we know what's coming. And just like we thought, he throws a massive hissy fit, shouting, swearing, basically saying whatever he pleases, walks out of the classroom, walks out of the room and just goes wherever he wants, and then not only that, but then he starts messing about doing whatever he pleases. It's not like he just goes to sit down and calm down, and then come back in the lesson. No, he literally walks out of the lesson, goes on his laptop, and then starts doing whatever he pleases. And most of the time, instead of doing his work, he was looking at some D&D D&D stuff on his on the actual college PC instead of doing his work. And the worst of it all is, because of all the special treatment the teachers gave him, he finished our course first. At least in my group. Because Connor's group, a lot of people had finished way before any of us did. But in my group, he was the very first person to finish. All because he was given a ton of special treatment. Like, if we do something wrong, we get punished. But if he does something wrong, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So yeah, any school or college that says they treat all students equally, they're lying. Because no school or college treats all students equally. Some of them will always receive special treatment over others for no reason. And one more thing just before we end off the video. You guys probably will have noticed this if you've been in school or college, but have you ever seen it where a student doesn't come into into school or college for a full week, right? But they've got no good reason. They just can't be bothered, right? But then, in the next week, say they come in 3 days in a row, right? They will get a massive amount of praise from the teachers. They will get more praise for coming in 3 days in a row of a week, after not coming in all of the previous week. And then you've got people like me who came in every single day, and we don't get any recognition for it. That happened so much in school, and some of you guys probably will have noticed it as well. How certain students get so much praise for doing not even the bare minimum. Coming in every day is the bare minimum. They're not even doing that, and they're getting more praise they're getting more praise for doing less than the bare minimum than the students who always come in on time. It's kind of like people who have quit smoking get more praise and credit than people who never started in the first place. It's like, you started and then stopped. What you did isn't special. Why are the people that just never started in the first place getting praise? We were never peer pressured into doing it in the first place. We were never stupid enough to do it in the first place. And another example of that is, say, somebody who's done drugs, but then has quit, has managed to better themselves and stop. Those people will get way more credit and praise from society than the people who just never took drugs in the first place, who just were never stupid enough, or who were literally never stupid and dumb enough to do it in the first place. Why aren't we getting recognition for just never being dumb enough to do it in the first place? We're not stupid. But yeah, that got off topic quite quickly. But yeah, students that receive special treatment, they don't even deserve it, but yet they always receive the treatment. And nothing ever gets done about it. And yet the college even had the cheek and the nerve on one of the surveys they have the students fill in every term at the start of each full term. One of the questions was, the answers were agree, strongly agree, indifferent, disagree. No, there was no middle option. It was agree, strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. And one of the questions was actually, do you believe all students are treated equally? Strongly disagree with that one, because no, it is a fact that not all the students are treated equally. But that is going to be the end of the very first Real Talk episode of 2020. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, follow me on all my social medias, and until next time guys, catch you later.